I've always been inspired by the stories of the women who I share the mountains with. I am inspired by the women who came before me and paved the way in this fight for better representation in skiing. I am uplifted by the women who surround me every day and encourage each other to be the best versions of themselves. And I am excited for the next generation who is fearlessly pushing this sport further with each season that passes. And I want to help as many women and girls as I possibly can to know their value and worth. Because if there's one thing I have learned, it is that women are extremely valuable to the ski industry. And so are their stories. There's a lot of stories that we've been told that are not helping us, a lot of fantasies. And if we could be the ones that start telling the stories that are actually helpful to our girls, that I support that. I was really used to people not believing me, like that had been my whole beginning of my career. And I had always known that I could ski as equally as well as those guys I was seeing growing up. I skied 3 movies with TGR. I think 5 with Warren Miller. Oh, I won the tour. That was a really special year. I skied Fat Bastard on men's rental skis because that's all I could get for a stunt that big. And that was the first time a girl was on the cover of a magazine with Free Skier. I got really lucky, like getting money at all for this career path didn't exist 15 years ahead of my time. And that's when the real pioneers were doing their thing and being ignored or not let in or whatnot. And they were right there all the time. That was my cousin.
This is an unbelievable day. Now we get to do this together. Yeah.
It's such a treat to get to ski together. She did the real thing, like the thing that should be made a movie about, where the girl from Michigan teaches herself how to ski, always does everything like on her own, finds her way out to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, right beside these guys that all become like the heroes of this sport. She did her backflips with Shane right next to him. She did all these contests with these guys that kind of started this industry. And most people don't know her name.
My name is AJ Cargill. I have had to pave my own path. And I never got paid to ski. I had some sponsorships and, I'm a world tour champion. And I stood on that podium next to someone who's very very well known, like every skier knows his name.
She's a real legend. It's been really special to get to ski with her.
I mean, I was part of the group who we renamed the sport to free skiing because we wanted it to represent more of what you do. It's like, choose your own line, figure out how to make it appealing and creative, and show your talents. You know, love your sport the most so that it can love everyone else back too.
Take a good look round, read the
I remember like trying to go 1,000, 2, you wouldn't even like get to 3 1,000, and that was the amount they had one girl in the movie.
I remember going to see them at the theater and every fall and being so excited, and every year there was one token female, and I remember watching her on screen and just being so inspired and thinking, I want to do this.
I've been watching this kind of stuff my whole life. Now it's my turn to like see if I can. And then eventually got the call from Warren Miller on my first Warren Miller trip, and it ended up being in Alaska. So that was like all the dreams coming true at once.
I've been on a lot of trips where I was the only female. Pretty Faces totally changed everything. It was the first time I ever filmed with a group of females. I remember just being like, oh my gosh, this is such an amazing environment to push myself in.
I made Pretty Faces, the first all-female ski film. My reasoning for making the film was I felt like women weren't really getting their fair shake. And I knew that individually a lot of things were going on, and I knew that if we put all of our highlights in one place, we could really make an impact and show that women were on a higher level than people imagined across the board. And I think a lot of people just didn't see I mean, I heard it, a lot of value in women skiing. And I knew that if I made the film that was in my head, they would. There were definitely unspoken rules I felt like I had to fit in to find acceptance in the world of professional skiing.
If those rules are being imposed on you, like, don't change who you are. Because we need a diverse and vibrant and beautiful industry and community to be representing skiers.
Now you're seeing, you know, women just doing their own unique thing. And I'm so happy to see it coming forward and really pushing the limits, but it just has to keep going. I'm the Olympic silver medalist in the sport of slopestyle skiing. I've been to 3 Olympics. I was the first American female to compete in halfpipe and slopestyle in 2018, and I just retired. Being a female skier, you're automatically put into a certain box of how you should represent yourself. And the box isn't helping the next generation see us the way we want to be seen.
Devin has always just had this attitude like, I don't care what you think, I'm going to do this the way I want to do it, and she's never strayed from that. When she was like winning all these events, she was staying true to herself always.
I met Devin when I got on the US ski team. Devin was definitely very welcoming when I first met her, and very inclusive and always fun to ski with. And I remember watching Devin get her Olympic medal when I was younger. So it was just really cool to like connect those things and start skiing with people that you looked up to and people that you saw do things that you want to do.
It just shows you like what's possible. She's been told a lot that things weren't possible, and she did exactly what she wanted to do. It gave me even more confidence to like just know like if I'm just continuing to be myself, I can look at Devin and see that it paid off for her, so why can't it pay off for me?
As I grew within my sport, I wanted to be the best overall skier I could be. If I can also be that person to help inspire and put myself on the line for other girls so they can have a better experience overall, that's what I'm willing to do. Seeing something only just makes that girl know that it's achievable.
Angel dropping in 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, drop in!
There's so much room for all of us. When I'm out in the field with other women, or if I see another woman do something that's super impressive, it is like way more motivating and inspiring to me, because in my body and my mind and my heart, I'm like, I might not be able to do that yet, but I can do that. It all makes it feel like our dreams can be realized. And that is elevating women's sports. And people are gonna actually think better of all of us because she's doing it.
My heart feels really happy when I'm skiing with other women. It's powerful to ski with other women. It's so much fun.
We were skiing in Alta to showcase the diversity of skiers because Carol's a park skier, but she's also ripping big mountain.
It makes me feel like really free being on a different part of the mountain. I find a lot of power in that, and it makes me feel like really confident.
There's so many women from so many different walks of life that are pursuing skiing in such different ways. And you just need to show up as yourself and you'll eventually find the place that fits.
The women I ski with are constantly reminding me of my worth and my value, and that allows me to show up way more confident.
I think a female's gonna find their power if they're confident in themselves. It's gonna show in a lot of other aspects of their life, and specifically their skiing.
My 360s are not very good, but we were with Carol, and the first one I fell, and I was just like, I don't really want to know if I even want to try it again. And Carol was like, you got this, and told me exactly what to do, and then I landed it.
Trying to make my mama proud, reaching for the stars, praying I won't ever touch the ground. I gotta do this now while the sun's still shining. No matter how you get it, gotta see the silver lining. Remember when we came up, everybody tried to clown us. Now the same people trying to say that they the ones that found us. All the minutes, all the hours, all the tears we devoured. Now we up, feel the power, screaming out the world is ours.
Seeing so many successful women and so many women gassing each other up has been life-changing.
A lot of the time, it's this amazing representation of why I'm doing this, why we're all doing this.
We battle with this imposter syndrome. We battle with feeling like we're never going to be good enough because society or the ski industry has always told us that we're never good enough. But it's those moments of skiing where you're I stomped that cliff, I skied that line, I did the sickest turn of my life in POW. Those are the moments you got to hold on to.
I became a professional skier because I really loved to ski, and I had some questions inside myself about what I could do with my skiing. And so, I signed up to play this game, and I knew it was gonna be hard, and I knew it was gonna be challenging, and I kind of expected it to not work, which is a weird way to start something.
I think what's kept me going is just I want to see more women doing this, and if I quit, then that's not going to happen. And so we need to kind of push through that, but we also need to push for change. We can't just sit and accept the status quo because it just doesn't work, and it's not going to help the community grow.
A pivotal comment that was once made to me was by a guest who said, "You just don't look like a god." I live in Crested Butte, Colorado. I work primarily as a ski guide in the winters, and then I also guide in the summers. We're gonna go ski Mount Emmons, which as a community we call Red Lady. There's something about starting in the dark and then being up for sunrise that I just love. I feel like it's this total reset for me. Starting in the cold and dark, in the quiet and the solitude, and then the sun starts to rise, and you get to watch that. The mountain holds molybdenum-rich sites. For decades now, the community has fought to keep it mine-free because it's a peak that like hovers above our town. For me, it's just become like a part of my daily routine in the winter time because it sits at the trailhead that we go out of to get up to Irwin where I guide. Like my preferred way to get to work is to just skin up to the top of Red Lady and then take the ridge into work and drop in, and I get like a fun run in before guides meeting and I meet everyone there. Like dropping the bowl takes a couple minutes and I'm down to the snowmobiles and can just hop on the sled and like drive to work. Just growing up in the outdoor world as a Mexican American, like I didn't see my darker skin as anything different than like the people who I was around, and I didn't know it defined me, but I was consistently asked like, what are you? And it used to be so hard to answer because I didn't own it. I like felt shame around not exactly knowing where I belonged. I mean, I'm hardly seeing females in this industry, let alone anyone of color. And that's changing, and that's great that it is changing. But I think that continued to like build on those self-limiting beliefs when you don't see yourself. I'm not like jacked, I'm not big, I'm not a man, I don't wear like the kit that all the guides wear. I dress differently, I look differently, I move differently through the mountains. Everything I do is like quite different than like that image we all have of a guide. But truly over time, I've just like owned it more and more and more, where I'm just like, this is who I am, this is how I can show up for you. And that's just like made my life so much better, trying to like own those differences as opposed to like trying to conform. And that's what I love so much about the mountains. Like there's no mirrors out there. You're not seeing how you appear. And so it's such a liberating space. It just matters who you are out there.
We were talking to Lonnie about this, where like growing up, there was so many like microaggressions and so much racism happening, like even with my ski coaches. And I have all these opportunities happening in my ski career, which is amazing, and I'm so grateful for all of them, but like there is that little voice in the back of my head being like, is this just because I check a box? I know I have so many layers that I bring to the table, and I know that I'm like worth so much more than just my racial identity, but at the end of the day, it's like, am I only getting this and because brands need to be more inclusive? It's such a double-edged sword because like I'm so stoked and happy to be that representation for people. Like it's so cool to feel that way and for people to tell me that I'm making a difference and I'm showing up for them. But it's also a lot of weight to carry, like because I already have imposter syndrome for like so many other reasons, probably just being a woman, but layering on like a racial identity diversity checkbox, it's a weird thing to navigate. I just rarely get to be on big lines in the backcountry with women, and I am always with men, and I am always dropped in the boot pack, and I'm always questioning if I should even be there. But then yesterday I was like, yeah, I could be like reveling in a sick sunrise with all these girls because that's like such a sick feeling. Just
Schlag is the best because she never makes me feel silly for not knowing something or for saying something or asking any questions or whatever. She's just there to teach me. Like, I didn't know that that was gonna happen when we started this film and I got her involved, but Schlag really took on like almost like a mentor role for me, especially when we were filming our segment in Crested Butte.
Oh, mountains, hold me tight. Oh, river, wash me tonight. Oh, trees, teach me to be wise. Oh, breath, won't you help me rise? Help me rise.
I never felt like super scared or super out of my comfort zone because I knew that she was right there and she was going to teach me how to do each and everything, and made me feel really comfortable, and I was grateful for that.
Addy is the most positive human ever. She believes in this message to her core, and like she's brought all of these amazing women together. Addy has taught me to be more confident in myself and believe in myself and ask for what I deserve.
We're gonna go boot up a little shooty shoot, and it's gonna be so fun.
1 mile to the water.
Oh. She got lost in the sauce. A little bit.
There you go, trying to find a way. The sun's heat is blonde and you, it hypnotizes the baby. I want you wade in the water. There's no trace of the other. Baby, I want you crawl in the water.
You're gonna crush it. Thank you. Woo! This feels great.
Oh yeah. It was like
Exactly what she said.
I feel like the industry thinks that like women only make up a small percentage of their customers, of their audiences, of the sport. And so I think they just need to realize like we have so much power in our stories, in our connection as women. There's no better friendship or relationship than female friendships.
We have power in numbers, and we are continuing to take up space.
Being surrounded by so many powerful women is inspirational.
And seeing other women send make me want to send.
Skiing is something that puts me into my body in a really positive way, unlike anything else. It feels like home.
Let's get a house, you and me and your 12 cats. We'll put mirrors on the ceiling, we'll have a bunk bed by the bed. You'll line my mattress with nails, 1 for every time something psycho came out of your mouth. Your cavern eyes are praying, your scarlet lips have saying a sales pitch for the circus in your mind. Young lady, you're scaring me. Young lady, you're scaring me. Oh yeah! Dumbbell right to the temple, carry me to your shrine dedicated to the prince of the last said no need, get out, take your purse. Young lady, all scared.
Be encouraging towards others no matter what, like always cheer each other on and try to create a really encouraging environment. There's just so many women out there being represented in so many different ways.
Everyone's style is so different, but because we're also so supportive of each other, it all just meshes so nicely.
I was so worried with transitioning that I might lose some of that sense of community.
Since transitioning, I have met so many wonderful people, most of whom I met because of skiing. As a transgender skier, that just tells you, no, actually, you can be here. You're okay. You can live the life that you want.
When I'm being myself is when I ski my best.
Be who you are authentically. Be who you are on your skis, because it's just you in the mountains.
It's scary, but being yourself is the greatest feeling, so take it.
I belong here, and I am going to continue taking up space, and I encourage every woman to do the same.
Ooh, let the walls on fire, let them burn. We've got a lot to say, but we don't need words. Ooh, let the walls on fire, let them burn. We've got a lot to say, but we don't need.
A lot of people approach differences with fear instead of curiosity. And I would say that the way that I deal with that is by having the courage to be who I am, even though people might try to put me in a box.
I actually went to the 2014 games in Sochi, Russia, which was the first time that snowboarding was featured in the Winter Paralympics. People need to see us out there. We may be different, but we're capable of doing everything that anybody else can. You know, I have different legs and I have to adapt things a little bit for what I'm doing, but you know, we're out here and we're charging just as hard as everybody else.
There's so many limitations for everyone, you know, no matter what it is. You just have to adapt and overcome, you know.
Skipping the lines always. I've never been on a tram ever in my life, no.
Skiing has shaped my life in so many ways because of how I feel when I'm doing it. At first, it was just so freeing to get out of the chair and go fast on snow.
I could only move at a walking pace in my regular life. So getting out on a snowboard and being able to move fast again, it was just so freeing.
When I'm out skiing, what I mostly feel is just total adrenaline and empowerment. And I feel so free. I feel powerful.
It's one of those things that doesn't make me feel disabled when I do it.
You have to find a way to have the courage to face your fears and do things even when you're scared and they're hard.
The biggest thing that I had to keep in my head to keep myself motivated is just remember, like, these mountains and this world is just as much as yours to enjoy as it is everyone else's.
I've put everything on the line to chase my dreams. And I don't know if I realized back when I was in my early 20s that doing so was potentially jeopardizing another lifelong dream of mine that I've had, to have a family, to have children. And I'm really excited to see like what happens with people like Izzy and Lindsay having kids and how they integrate, you know, the realities of being a woman and the time clock that biology has put you on, and balance that with like still having dreams.
This milk means I can go skiing again tomorrow.
It's like white gold.
Oh, it's like 1000% different being a female with a kid in the ski industry versus a male. But I think there's definitely a double standard. I mean, everyone tells you that once you have a kid as an athlete, you should retire.
I lost a sponsor right after I had my first son. And then I've had like conversations with people in the industry and they ask me like, do you still have time to do this because you're a mom? It's funny because I know a lot of dad pro skiers and I don't think they've ever been asked that question.
On top of that cliff the other day, this is all I could see. Turns out we can ski powder and be awesome moms. And I'm actually really proud of that because I can still get my job done doing it my way.
There was a bit of a transition period where I really questioned myself, like, do I still have a place in this industry as someone who's maturing in my life and, you know, starting a family, growing up.
And so you get, you know, a breadth of a career under your belt and all the different things, and you're finally building that confidence. You're finally coming into that space where you're like, I'm finally like the athlete that I want to be. And then I'm staring in the face of like, you know, being seen as like an older athlete, which I'm still here, still a great skier. I still have gifts to give, and I still have value.
Got a little cliff that we used to hit. Haven't been here in a while, so this will be fun.
Back in the olden days.
Back in the olden days. Still got it.
There are people in all walks of life, at all stages of life, that look to this industry for inspiration, and I think that's another reason I've really stuck with it, is like, I just want that perspective to change. If we're talking about being a professional athlete, that's a job, and your job should not be your whole life. You're allowed to have a personal life outside of that, and you're allowed to be a whole person.
We're so many things, and I think being able to feel that in ourselves, like I get to be so many things, and I get to be seen as so many things, and I get to express myself as so many things, has been so empowering for me.
It'll show young women and girls like you can be anything you want. You can be a guide, you can be a helicopter pilot, you can be a filmmaker, you can be a pro skier.
I encourage the next generation of women to just think about one another, see each other as equals, see each other as support systems, because at the end of the day, we're gonna lift one another up.
The hope is like the next generation has it easier, takes it further, makes it better for the following generation. I want to see more women in the space. I want to see women get supported equally, financially, and with opportunities. I want the issues of sexism and tokenism to fade away. I want women to be constantly looking at their skiing and progressing and looking at their technique and like nailing it, you know? I think that like I want this idea of like, oh, ski like a girl, like yeah, watch me.
She said she'd hike back up and backflip it, that's what she said.
we're past the point of like, oh my God, look, it's a girl skiing. Like, okay, we've got it. Girls can ski, girls can do all kinds of things. But like, who are women and what drives them? And what can all people learn from women's stories and the challenges that women face?
Woo!
Epic.
I want women and girls to know their worth. I want them to know that there's space for them, that they're valuable, because if we can empower the next generation, we can empower women and girls in general to be stronger and to be louder, then the change is so much bigger.
My advice for girls is to speak your mind and to take up space, because every goal is achievable, but you have to believe in yourself to achieve those goals.
You know, there might be other people that are telling you that you can't or you shouldn't, but don't believe them. You can do anything.
Keep pushing those boundaries and keep being yourself.
It is those things that set us apart from one another that make us so much more special.
My advice for girls is to show up as you, because there's enough space for all of us.
Can you feel the infinite?